It's out at our Indianapolis airport. Hey, things aren't too bad as we give you a live look here at the airport security. People waiting to get through TSA this Friday morning. Hopefully off to somewhere wonderful because we know how beautiful the weather is going to be. But we'll talk about some of the wait times if you are heading out to the airport this morning, or maybe you have to pick someone up that's coming in to spend their spring break here. And if you are, you're in luck.
Yes, we've got some beautiful spring-like weather. It is the first day of spring at like 10-something this morning. Yeah. We're actually going to feel like it. You know, we like to flip-flop around here.
We do. Are we a spring break destination now?
Yes. We should be this week.
According to the people that are getting at the airport.
That's right.
Dropped off, we are.
Right in.
Yeah.
We have a great forecast for you today. I will say, Marina, it's been kind of funny because with the camera looking around, you get some people kind of staring.
Okay.
Good people watching.
Yes.
Right. Why are you here? Or you have to wait.
Right. The good thing is I haven't seen anybody look too stressed.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't been too bad.
That is key.
We appreciate all of our TSA workers, by the way, who are showing up to work even though they're not getting a paycheck.
Exactly. So thank you. Before we get to weather, we have a traffic alert this morning that you need to know about. On the south side of the city, I-465 south, or I-65 south to 465 east is closed. This ramp is closed as a semi turned over. I'm going to show you this camera again, but I do want to show you the map real quick to give you perspective. South side of the city, but it's the ramp from I-65 south to 465 east that is closed, and now just lanes of I-465 east are super slow because of the crash. Now here's the camera again. They're slow just because one lane is open right now, and there's a lot of traffic building up, but this is where that semi-tractor trailer tipped over. Those folks are going to be stuck on the ramp for a while. The cleanup process is just getting underway. Once again, I-65 south to 465 east is closed this morning. Let's talk weather now this morning, kind of doing a flip-flop here. We've had a flip-flop of weather. I can tell you what, this week we started with wind chills near zero. Do you remember? Maybe you got it out of your mind already. We had scattered snow showers, some of it sticking. We had blowing and drifting snow. And now we're talking about upper 70s to near 80 degrees. We didn't forecast temperatures high enough yesterday. What we've really noticed is that the warmth in the plains it's just even stronger day after day. This is quite impressive. Records will likely fall out west. We're getting in on some of that warmth. We'll get to the upper 70s, and a few of us, I wouldn't be surprised if you briefly hit 80 degrees. And for some, that'll be your first 80-degree day of the year. If you don't hit it today, you're likely going to hit it on Sunday. Right now, we have some high clouds coming on by. This is a little deceiving, where it looks like, wow, there are a lot of clouds in the observation. Here's the thing. There's a cirrus deck. Those are high clouds, thin, that are sitting overhead, but you can still kind of see the stars through them, and I think that'll be the case today. The sun should be able to pour through them all right, kind of a veiled sunshine. This morning, a lot of 40s and 50s. It's 53 here in Indy, a little cooler outside the city. Avon, Brownsburg, 44, 48 in Newcastle and in Rushville, and in Bloomington, it's 50 degrees. We've got a great forecast for you today. We're going to let you know how long lasting this warmth will be before a front with some thunderstorm chances will arrive. Julia?
All right, thanks so much, Matt. Well, yes, we have been following this story at airports all across the country this week and here in Indy. This is a time lapse, by the way, showing you some of those initial lines that we saw in Indy here this morning around 4 a.m.
Yeah, close to when they first opened it. It looks like it there. It is packed. We can tell you things have died down significantly at Indianapolis International. That is not the case, though, everywhere. A lot of airports, can't say the same.
Yeah, our airport's great. We're just kind of getting the trickle-down effect. There are more cancellations or delays. Specifically, it's the Florida market where it seems to be kind of not and everything.
But across the country, though, nearly 600 delays and 53 cancellations so far this morning. A lot of popular spring break destinations for Hoosiers. That's in Florida where we're seeing those cancellations this morning. But Marina, I'm happy to see that there's not a lot of chaos going on behind you, not a lot of long lines. Tell us about what's going on there.
Well, good morning. Yes, not a lot of chaos. This is the best I've seen it all morning. You know, we got here early this morning right as TSA was opening. We actually went through during our 4 o'clock newscast, and it took us a little around 15 minutes to get through all of it. Later on, it probably would have taken a lot longer because there were so many people. But as you can see right behind me, TSA workers here in Indianapolis, they're still here. They're still working. A lot of them have smiles on their faces. And I am told it is difficult. According to TSA, the local call-out rate has been about 5 to 10% of officers calling out. The past 2 days, it's been closer to about 9%. When I spoke with the union representing TSA officers in Indiana, the main thing they're seeing from their officers, not being able to afford gas and morale getting low.
But yeah, they're already feeling the crunch that they don't have enough money to put into the tank. What are we, over $3 a gallon now? Yeah.
One thing that we're seeing here in Indianapolis that's not happening at a lot of airports, they're still staffing the TSA pre-check line. So you can still go through TSA pre-check if you already have it. So that's one thing here that's different than in other airports. But again, right now the lines aren't that bad right now. People are moving through pretty fast. I'm told that morning rush is done. It's later in the day that they'll get another rush. So it's really depending on when your flight is. If you want to make sure that you can get through it smoothly, just making sure that you have all your documents ready, you have what can go through TSA, and you're just kind of prepared before you get to the TSA lines.
I think I read it was around that 2 o'clock time frame when they have another uptick with people trying to get the people that took a half day of work. All right, thank you, Marina.
Yes.
And while those wait times here in Indy are really not too bad as we've seen this week, obviously we've talked about other cities.
Yes, keep this in mind if you are heading back from some of these cities. One of them, Atlanta. Passengers yesterday waited for up to an hour and a half. That was just to get through the security checkpoint. Let's show you this line here. Now, keep in mind the time lapse we just showed you here in Indy and compare that to here. Wait times have been long all week. This is Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, seeing about 36% of their TSA agents call out.
And, you know, that is a big layover destination.
Oh, yeah.
So we also know some cities are even worse impacted. Logan Airport, for example, in Boston, reporting over 20 TSA agents have just flat out quit as the DHS shutdown continues. Transportation officials in Massachusetts say staffing there is sufficient despite the shutdown. Well, right now, we know police are investigating a double shooting that happened on the southwest side of Indy last night.
It happened around 5 along Coppic Drive. It's in a neighborhood near High School Road and Thompson Road. Police did tell us both people shot were stable. We want to learn more information about this situation. So police are asking for help, though. If you can help investigators, they want you to call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. Well, the madness is already real here in March if you watched the games yesterday, but now it's time for Purdue to put their skills to the test.
The second seed Boilers are getting ready to face 15 seed Queens in the first round tonight in St. Louis. Now the Boilers know a little something about the big dance. The last time they made it to the Final Four was in 2024, so not too long ago. So they did fall short, though, in that title game to UConn.
And Queens is making their first ever trip to the tournament. Purdue head coach Matt Painter says that lack of experience, though, doesn't mean the Boilers will go into this game overconfident.
They're a skilled team. They have a couple guys that can really shoot it, but they have a lot of guys that can break you down and make plays. You know, they're a smaller team than we're used to in the Big Ten, but like they're a quality team.
This is Purdue's 9th straight season getting into the tournament with at least a top 4 seed or higher. You can watch Dom's live report from the first round matchup. He's in St. Louis with the team here on Channel 13, but also extended coverage on WTHR Plus because we have so much to cover from Purdue throughout hopefully a very long run in this tournament.
You said yesterday's games, though, just trashed your bracket.
Oh, yeah, which I knew better. I shouldn't have been making one anyway.
I think a lot of people are in that same spot. Well, if Purdue plays in the Final Four, they'll get a lot of hometown support, we know.
Yeah, Indy has been getting ready to host those final games for more than a year. And if you've been downtown recently, you can see all of that work paying off. So many crews are getting ready for all the events. There's a free music festival happening at the American Legion Mall.
They're also finishing up the enormous bracket there on the side of the JW Marriott outside of Lucas Oil Stadium. There are also signs going up there as well.
And inside, there's all kinds of gear as construction teams are in there turning this into a basketball court. So the teams that'll be here in April, and all Indiana Sports Corps leaders are expecting 70,000 people downtown each day of the Final Four. Since this is Indiana, we're doing the Final Four bigger than ever.
That's right. Indiana is hosting not just D1 games, but this year D2, D3, and the NIT. So a lot of folks will be through Indy next month.
All right, well, the opposite is happening there out west. Extreme heat. We'll tell you the step that one community is taking to keep people safe much earlier than they normally would.
Also this morning, we know more U.S. troops are headed to the Middle East to fight in the war there, how many could be deployed, and the latest on the cost to Americans.
Good Friday morning. Spring is almost here. It technically starts at 10:46 local time, but it feels like spring has already arrived. We're in the 50s now. We'll climb to the 70s later today. Good morning. You've made it to Friday and you've made it to the first day of spring starting technically at 10:46. Today we'll have a lot of sun with a lot of high clouds kind of veiling the sun. Still warm though. We'll reach near 80.